Okay, next was Jerry says, "Hey guys, I got a question for Bradley. Suppose you have a service area business client that can service clients nationally. The website has main service pages and then location pages for the different cities. A branded stack, PR, and branded citations have been made for the business name, linking back to the homepage.
Hmm.
The business offers multiple services and has all the location pages made. Is it a good idea to also build out citations of each individual location page, e.g., or for example, citations to business name, service, one, city name? It's a weird, long, whatever that is, and a different batch of citations for business name, service, two, city name? Thanks. Only if they have locations. Like, in other words, if you have physical locations for each one of those cities that you're mentioning in that example, then yeah, you can. You certainly can. There's no, I mean, the way I look at it is every individual location. If it's a multi-location company, right, a brand with multiple locations, then every single individual location can absolutely have its own citations, and there's no reason why you can't or you shouldn't do that. If it's a legit business with a real location, then you can absolutely have citations for each one of them, and I do that for legitimate businesses and legitimate GMB assets. I still build citations. In fact, I recently just started using SEM Rush's local listings service because it's just Yext. They're basically resellers for Yext, but it's only $20 a month, and it gets you into like 80 some directories very, very quickly, and you can go in and edit details if needed, and it will update all of them. It's again, it's Yext. But specifically, the reason I did it was because there's voice search now, right? There's like Alexa or whatever. I don't use it, but Google Home. A lot of those voice search apps. And by getting using Yext or a Yext reseller like SEM Rush, for example, then you get added into the voice search stuff too, which that's gaining in popularity. And it's just a matter of time till more and more of that is like becomes critically important for traffic and for leads, obviously. So yeah, I mean, again, if you have a legitimate location for each one of these cities that you're mentioning here, then there's no reason that you can't or shouldn't create citations for those as well. I think some citations are still pretty powerful to have. There's no question. So I would encourage you to do so. Any comments on that?
No, totally agree. But it requires a specific location, right? You
That's
can't
correct.
just build citations because now you're confusing the bot. But yeah, GMB assets. I mean, that's the only reason. Well, the only way that I do it is if I have a GMB for that location. It's because it then has an office and it has a number. It has the NAP, and you can differentiate that location from all of the other locations, and you can create the node relationships, or the relationships between the parent or the main branch and the children, or all other branches that belong to that main branch. So I hope that makes sense, but that's the only way that I would do this. I would not just build citations to a page in my website that has that location if there is nothing to back that up, if there's no physical location to back that up.
And I agree. And that's what I was, and I'm glad you mentioned this because it reminded me to kind of clarify something. So the business can have the same name, but for each
Mhm.
individual location, it should have a unique address, a unique phone number, and a unique website or landing page, right? So I'm going to put landing page. Does that make sense? So the thing is, you don't want you can have out of so this is really 4 points. We talk about NAP, but there's really four data points here, right? Because it includes the website / landing page. So if the name is going to remain consistent because it's for one brand with multiple locations, then you have to have the other three data points as unique. So unique physical address, unique phone number, and a unique website / landing page. Because if you don't, then you can ambiguate the main entity, which would be what you've done so far to the home page. Does that make sense? So like if you have one location that's the main primary location, like the headquarters, corporate headquarters, whatever you want to call it, then that's going to be typically the way that I've seen most multi-location businesses set up is there will be a GMB associated with that main corporate headquarters. And typically the landing page associated with that GMB, so the website URL, is going to be the root domain. And that's fine. That's perfectly fine to do it that way. But then for each individual or subsequent location, right? So each additional location, it should have its own separate landing page, which would be, rootdomain.com/location, whatever that is, location 1/location 2, all for however many they are, so that it has a unique web address for each individual location. Then each phone number should be unique as well. Now, can you have one singular like 800 number, for example, for all locations? Yes, but each individual location should also have its own local number. And you can have two phone numbers in a GMB. You can add multiple phone numbers to a GMB, but you should display your primary number as the local number in GMB and then add the 800 number as a secondary or alternative number so that Google makes that association between the 800 number and all the different locations, but the primary number is the local number, which disambiguates that particular location. Does that make sense? And then again, the physical address will also have to be unique. So if you're going to have the same name, now something that I do for a lot of multi-location businesses is I will append the city name to the brand name for other locations. In other words, the main brand will have the brand name for the GMB, but then for the location number 1, it'll be brand name location 1 and brand name location 2. Now, again, that I do that specifically because it has a lot of the times when I'm dealing with tree services and such, tree services in the name, which is a keyword. So if I get the city name in there too, then it helps to optimize the GMB slightly. But just keep in mind that technically you should be just using the brand name. As long as you're keeping 3 data points unique, then you can keep the same brand name across all locations and you're fine. Does that make sense? Hopefully that was a good explanation.